Good morning.
Good morning.
Excellent. You can hear me all right?
Beautiful.
Excellent. Thanks. All right.
Hey, good morning, Jamie.
Hi, how are you?
I'm amazing. How about yourself, brother?
Equally the same. We've got close to a foot of snow here in Canada. Oh, and you're in a tank top.
Well, I'll show you. That's the beach out there, man.
Yeah. All right. You want to see what I'm looking at? Just there we go.
Look at all that sand out there.
I know, beautiful sandy day. Yeah.
Right?
Gonna have to get my my sons to get out with the sand blower and clear all that sand out of the way.
I don't know how you guys do it, man.
Well,
I don't know how you do it.
I'm ready whenever you are to come down to Scottsdale and spend I don't know 6 months there.
I don't blame you. Hey, we make sure you turn on the recorder too today.
Absolutely. Looks like the recording has started. Yeah, it's recording.
Beautiful.
All right. Perfect.
It's all yours, brother. Talk to you
All
soon.
right. Thanks, man. All right. Good morning, everyone. What we're going to do today is we're going to talk about snapshot reports and the CRM tool and how to manage, manage the flow of the sales cycle. Excuse me. Oh, it's a little dry here. My name's Jamie Moffat, and I am your digital sales trainer, and we'll be working with you ongoing as we continue to drive forward and help local businesses just get with the program, become digital savvy, and have some serious success in being found and being able to market to their customers and to their new customers. All right, so we'll kick things off here with the snapshot report. Let's say, just give me 1 second here. We'll go with. Everybody see the snapshot report image? Yep. Excellent. All right. So the snapshot report is a tool that allows you to basically do some serious homework. It's a digital needs analysis that helps you to identify, the strengths and weaknesses digitally for your prospects and clients before you go into a meeting. It's a conversation starter, and it's a great tool that's going to help you to really analyze and identify those gaps that we're trying to fill. Super easy to create. It's powered by Google. All you have to do is go into the Snapshot Sales tool. You plug in the prospect's business name, hit the search bar, and it'll bring up the business. If the business doesn't show up, you can see there's a skip to account creation icon here. Let me just give myself a pointer here. Right here. What this does is it allows you to create an account from scratch. So that's a good example of that would be an account that maybe is just starting out, a business that hasn't got a website or very much of a social presence yet online. So what a snapshot is it's personalized for that business. It has your name, photo, email, contact information on it so they can reach out to you at any time. And it compares that business's online presence to others in the same industry in their vertical. And it shows which ones are, it'll really help you to identify, how digital solutions can help them. So this is just a quick scroll of what it looks like. We look at listings, reviews, social media, we look at their website, and we also do a scrape of their digital advertising and look at search engine marketing, retargeting, etc. And what the system does is it scrapes the internet over a period of about 24 hours after you input the data. You can have a snapshot report in as soon as 10 minutes, but that data is going to continue to update over the next week as it finds more, as it continues to search the internet, looking for social media posts or looking for reviews online, etc. And it's going to print out a 7-page report that allows you to take this into your client. You can email these to your clients in advance of a meeting, or you can set them up on a marketing automation program where these reports would be sent out, and there would be a drip campaign, which we have pre-built for you, that would go over a period of about a month. It all starts with the anchor data. So you want to make sure that you've got the right information in there. So when you do the Google search, you're going to want to do an audit, and I'll show you how to do this. I'll walk through a live example when we're finished here. When you take a look at the anchor data, you want to make sure we have the right business name and address and phone number and website address. Google sometimes will pull whatever is available on the internet, and the most common data always wins. So if they have an error that's fairly common, maybe it's an address error or some sort of listings error, that's what's going to show up in this anchor data. So what you want to do is you want to do a quick audit and make sure that you've got the right anchor data that matches exactly what your client's looking for. Then what we do is we give it an overall score. And we look at the listings, reviews, social, website. In the example that you're looking at right now, we've turned off the advertising component. You can turn on and off the various different components along the way if you like, depending on what kind of conversation you're planning on having with your client. And then it gives it an overall score. It's visually very appealing, and it really helps to identify the pain points for your customers. So let's jump into these different categories and talk first of all about listings. With listings, your business listings, your name, phone number, address, website, etc., are critical elements to have for your business success. People need to be able to find you on the web and on maps and on the streets. And so one of the biggest issues a business can face is being found. If there's that wrong information, like I mentioned earlier, on Yahoo, for example, it can populate across a multitude of different areas. There are aggregators that we work with that help to push out correct listings when you find an error. So the first thing we want to talk about is there's two things we look at within listings. We look at listings presence, which is the total number of online listings found for your business, as well as listings accuracy, which is the percentage of accurate business listings found across the internet. So it's important that we want to keep that listing presence front and center, and we want to make sure you're on as many, correctly listed on as many sites as possible. Listing distribution is a tool that will ensure that those businesses will remain where they need to be with the correct data. Reputation management, which is where we draw a lot of it basically powers the snapshot report. It'll show you exactly where your listings are missing, and listing distribution is one of the tools that we have that helps to fix or create new listings, the correct listings that we push out to those 4 major data providers: Newstar, Factual, Axiom, and Infogroup. So when we talk about that, in this case, the listings are super healthy, they exist, and they're correct. And so we want to make sure that there's green check marks. I mean, it's pretty intuitive. If it's got a green check mark, it's right. If it's got a red X, it isn't necessarily as bad as you think. It just means that it can't be found. Again, we turn on listing distribution. It's going to push out the correct data to those sources that might be missing it. And then the one you want to watch out for, of course, is the triangle with the exclamation mark. This is where we have the wrong information. So we want to make sure that we correct that. Again, using a tool like listing distribution will help you correct those errors, and it'll push the correct information out to the hundreds of websites that are carrying the business's listings. Again, we work with Factual, Axiom, Infogroup, and Newstar localese. Okay, we'll jump over to reviews now. And with reviews and reputation, it's really important. And this is something that a lot of businesses, as you may already be aware, are looking for help with. When we look at reviews, it's the same as if my phone is ringing and people want to talk to me about their experience and I'm not answering it. That's quite often a problem, is people are having a lot of reviews, or maybe their reviews are all, they have some negative reviews and they don't know how to deal with that. Or maybe they just have no reviews. So they're getting bypassed by people who are searching for, their business in that category. it's basically, it's an open forum where people can talk about a business, and they can talk about, you know, their own personal experiences with it. I know I personally use reviews and ratings all the time. I live in Canada, and I have a new coworker who she moved up here from Texas, about a month ago. And so we went out for dinner one night, and I asked her, I said, well, where do you want to go? And what do you know, and she said, well, I'd like to have some poutine, you know. And I said, okay, well, let's find you some poutine, which, if for the uninitiated, poutine is French fries, gravy, and cheese curds. I know it sounds kind of odd, but it's a Canadian delicacy, but it can be done badly. So you want to find the right one. So I did a search. I looked online. I looked on Google. I found a couple of reviews of some poutine places in my hometown, and the reviews were just kind of flat. They weren't current. They were old reviews from 2014 and 2015. So I continued my searching, and I found a site courtesy of Yelp that had a bunch of current reviews, and most of them were excellent. So we tried it out, and it was definitely worth it. It was a good experience. But I wouldn't have set foot in that restaurant. I didn't even know where it was had I not done the search. So we know that businesses are looking at reviews and looking at reputation as a big piece of how do I manage that. We know that 90% plus of people are making decisions based on those reviews. Now, as I mentioned, there's three scenarios. One is a negative review, two is no reviews or nothing recent, and three is healthy but unmanaged reviews, meaning you've got lots of reviews but no responses. So what the snapshot report does is it shows you how you can fix your online reputation by looking at the total number of reviews found, average reviews per month, the average rating, and the total number of sources. Now, excuse me, here's an example of a business that's worked really hard to earn a good reputation. You know, you can add social marketing or review management to help amplify that positivity and feed it with more information. Reputation management is going to showcase where the negative sentiment is coming from, and review generation will help you to increase reviews and suppress negative reviews by basically burying it in positive reviews. Over in social, what we're going to look at is how people are talking about your business on Facebook and Twitter and so on. A lot of consumers are making buying decisions, and they're putting that information out on social media because they want to reach out to their friends and say, hey, I need a plumber. Who would you recommend? And I throw it out on Twitter and Facebook. More and more people are doing that all the time. Now, the plumbing business, if they're listening, has an opportunity to hear that. And social is one area that we look at and we measure it. So we look at social marketing and how a business should have a plan around their social marketing. They can use it for customer service. They can use it for generating leads, like I just mentioned. They can also use it as a tool to build fans by creating profiles that are informative and entertaining. Of course, you know, these are numbers I'm sure you're familiar with. Facebook is the biggest country in the world with over 2 billion users. Instagram is approaching it's approaching 1 billion users. 800 million users is the most current number. 467 million users of of LinkedIn. Twitter continues to grow. Google Plus continues to grow, etc. And there's all sorts of different areas that a business can really put their name out there and help to grow themselves through social media. So we look at likes, posts, average likes per post, and average shares per post on Facebook. We also look at check-ins and posts on Twitter. So with that social marketing, we want to help amplify the positivity. We want to find relevant content. We can provide RSS feeds, and we can even do social posting for these for your customers, 2 or 4 times a week, or 2 or 4 times a day if they wish. And the reputation management tool, again, is going to help to showcase where that negative sentiment might be coming from on their social media. Now, the website is basically, we're getting down to the bottom of the marketing funnel, and this is where you're going to identify, we're going to use a snapshot to identify those gaps again in the website. Most people are going to websites to find a business's phone number or their hours of operation or how to get there. And it's critical that that information is available on a mobile responsive site. There's still so many businesses that haven't optimized their website for mobile. So we look at both mobile and desktop with the snapshot report. We identify the speed, and we also make recommendations on how to fix it. And we look at the user experience from the mobile perspective. With the desktop, we're also looking at speed and homepage content. Speed is a really big deal. If, for example, it takes 7 seconds to load a website versus a site that loads in under 2 seconds, 75% of people are going to bail before they get, if they have to wait 7 seconds for a website to load. So that's the business that has a website that's slow loading is losing 75% of their prospects. So, you know, how can we help to identify that? We help to decrease the load time, which is critical. We also look at, you know, areas that can fix. Big images are another fairly common point where they'll have a super beautiful high definition image, but it's slowing down their website and it's slowing down the whole user experience. You know, if they're getting good marks, you know, obviously you want to say, hey, you're on the right track. We can certainly help. We've got a variety of products that can fit to solve these problems, help you to fix what's broken, or you can look at creating a landing page, a location page, those sort of things which can help improve the experience for the user. So we're looking at homepage size. We're making sure that the phone number, address are on there. We want to also make sure that social media links are available on the homepage. These are really important features for any healthy, productive website. Keep in mind as well that we're using Google's latest, most current algorithms to measure the efficiency of a website. And so it measures very hard. So the snapshot report is pretty rare where you're going to see an A, especially on websites, because a website, as you know, is a very dynamic thing and is constantly evolving. Newer feature that we've added in the last 6 months is a search feature where we're looking at homepage content again. We're looking at searching, and we're looking at search engine marketing and all of the marketing tactics that business is using. So this can take a few, 24 hours, 48 hours for the tools to find this business. They're doing where are they advertising? Are they advertising on Google and Bing and Yahoo? And are they doing, display advertising? Are they doing, search advertising? And we look at all of the various different areas, and we're looking to see if that business is showing up organically as well on the first page of search. So we also will recommend an SEM strategy based on their, suggestions on how many paid keywords, what a monthly pay-per-click would look like, what an average cost per click will run based on their business against 3 competitors. And then we're also going to measure the website traffic from a search engine marketing capacity against those competitors. And we also take a look to see if they're taking advantage of remarketing or not. And if they are, great. And if they're not, we can obviously make suggestions on how to make that work for them. So that, in a nutshell, that's kind of a high-level flyover of the snapshot report. Are there any questions at this point? All right, I will continue rolling on here. Just give me 1 second to dig up what I need to dig up, and we have, we're going to talk about what happens, where the snapshot goes, and how to talk to that, and how to manage the flow of the sales process. All right, so we'll go to pipeline management next. All right, so with our pipeline management tool, this is where we can check and see how people are interacting with the snapshot report before we even go to see them. And we call it the Sales and Success Center. This is a CRM that is a great tool. It's a place I spend a lot of time every day managing my own sales prospects and clients. And what happens is whenever there's any activity by a customer or a prospect, you get a notification by email. If they received a snapshot report and they've opened it, you'll get an email right away. And ideally, you want to call them as soon as possible to touch base and book an appointment to come see them or answer any questions immediately. The sooner you reach out to them, the faster that prospect is going to become a qualified prospect. So these are a couple of screenshots of what you can expect. They'll have the Ezzey logo up in the corner. And then what you do is you simply go into the Sales and Success Center. I believe everybody has login credentials now. If you don't, please let us know, and we'll make sure that you're set up. Simply put in your email and the password that you've set up for Sales and Success Center, and it's going to bring you into this page. This is an example. Again, I'll take you to a live example after we're finished this. So what you're going to see here is you're going to see, let's turn on the pointer, you're going to see the accounts. You can search accounts in this bar here. You can search by name. You can filter based on follow-up, on whether they were closed and won. You can look at opportunities in here. You can click directly on the account name to open up more information on that account and view details. You can find the snapshot report right here. You can also look at their marketing automation to see where they at in the funnel. Now, in here, we've zoomed in on BMW of San Francisco, and you can see that it is showing in progress. So we've got a few active products here. You can see the last customer activity was 2 days ago. The last sales activity is the last time you entered anything was 2 weeks ago. When I dial in or click on BMW of San Francisco, it's going to open up this window, which is going to show more details about that client. You can see enter notes in here. I often use this as a space where I'm going to include links to other documents, proposals, key account plans, etc. And then you can see all the various different users, their name, address, phone number, and title are all included in their LinkedIn profiles, etc. And then you can see the recent activity. So you can see in here that Cass Naker is interested in audio baits. And so he has a 3-flame lead, which means that he has very currently and very recently been in the system. He has clicked on the marketing page. He's viewed it a couple of times. So you might want to reach out to him and say, hey, let's chat. You can also click to view the history, and you can open up a window that's going to show you the whole history of activity on this account. And this is what it looks like, where you can view the prospect's activities. You can see 3 days ago, he was interested. 8 days ago, Jacqueline Cook was interested. 2 weeks ago, Devin Henning was interested in appointment scheduling. So there's some good activity on this account. Now, if you want to view the snapshot report, you just simply click on the little paper icon there, which will open up the snapshot report. And then over in the other corner, the active products, if you click on that, it'll bring down the 3, in this case, 2 active products and 1 that they're considering. So they have reputation management, listing builder, and you can click into those products to see the activity there as well. One thing that I use this for on a regular basis is to schedule appointments and to keep track of meetings. So I use it as a place where I keep my notes and track all of my calls, as well as opportunities. So you can create opportunities in here, and then you can continue to follow those opportunities through the whole sales cycle until they're closed. And to update a sales record, it's quite as simple. You just click on the blue box that says Add Sales Record, and it'll open up a window that you can add the notes. If you send an email, if you make a phone call, if you have a meeting, all of those activities, I'm always updating sales records regularly. So basically, you receive a sales opportunity by email, you log into the Sales Tool dashboard, and then you select the business name to see those prospect details. You can see their snapshot report, and then you give them a call, you schedule and complete an appointment, and then when you close the business, you update the sales record. It's quite a simple tool. So in that pipeline management, we want to be able to sort and look at what's going on. So in this case, we have 78 prospects and clients. And so they're sorted automatically by hotness. You can filter any way you wish. And in this case, they default by hotness. So this has a 3-flame lead, which means it's current, which means they've been looking at your information you've been sending them, and they're ready to have a conversation. A 1-flame lead would be somebody who has looked at something, or maybe they've just received an email and they haven't opened it yet. They're warming up, but they're not quite at that 3-flame status. You can add them to an automation campaign as well very quickly and easily by clicking right from the account view. You just click on this email icon, and it'll add them to an automation, and you'll have a menu of different marketing automation campaigns you can choose from. We'll get into that in later training. It's super exciting what you can do with marketing automation. If you want to send a report, let's say you want to send a snapshot report by email, you can create a quick campaign. Just put the client's email address in there, specifically who you're sending it to, and hit submit. Once you've created a sales record or an opportunity, it's going to show value as well. So you'll be able to keep track and do projections, sales projections based on this tool. So an example here, we have the sales value and it was closed in one. So this client bought reputation management, and you'll be able to see an overview of all of your accounts, or your sales manager will be able to see this based on what activity you're taking in there. Again, that's a kind of a high-level overview of the CRM tool. So what we'll do now is let's dig in and take a look at a live example. Just give me a second here. There we go. Okay. All right, you should be able to see the Ezzey Sales Management Sales and Success Center page. In here, can you see that okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, so this is Michael's. I'm going to be able to hack around in here, and you'll be able to take a look and see what I'm doing. But it's a really great tool that allows you to sort and identify hot leads. This is great too because he has 1, 2, and 3 flame leads. So right now we can look at North Italia is showing as being a hot lead. So before we do that, what I'd like to do is show you how to. We're going to back up a little bit, and we're going to take a look at a snapshot report and how to create one. So we're going to create a prospect. So I should have figured this out before, but I should have grabbed a live example. So I'm going to grab where I bought my last car. So this is a company up here in Canada where I bought my Volkswagen. As you can see, it's pre-populating. It shows you on a map where this is where we're finding this data. So I can then click on the blue white arrow, and it's going to open up the account creation page. So in here, I can create the account, and I can put, I want to run a snapshot report. All of our prospects automatically are getting Listing Builder, which is a listing tool. It's a free listing tool that's going to just analyze those listings and show them again where the strengths and weaknesses are. Now, this is where I can pick and choose my campaigns. So maybe I don't want to put them on a campaign. I want to print out a snapshot report, take it with me, or maybe I just want the report, or maybe I want to send the whole thing. So I can preview the campaign as well. So I can see here that the first page, the first day is I've created a snapshot report. Generally, we don't recommend creating snapshot reports within a month of creating another one. So if you've got one and it's a month or even 2 months old, you're probably accurate. It's not an analytics tool. It's a conversation starter. If you have a 6-month snapshot report, you might want to refresh it. So coming back to the email, this is what the first email would look like for your prospect. So in this case, for Norden Volkswagen, they're going to receive a complimentary reputation report for Norden Volkswagen, and it's already branded with Ezzey, and it would have my contact information as the salesperson, my title, my email, and phone number. And so my prospect is going to receive this email, and they can click to view the report right away. And that happens on the second day because we want to let the system run for 24 hours before we send the snapshot report out. Then we'll send another email a week later on day 9. And this is hey, have you seen these online reviews? On day 16, we're going to identify, some of the areas we kind of highlight what are listing websites, why are online listings important, and we just do some education. Again, we've always got a link to the snapshot report in the email. And then the last one is on day 23, and this is where we send them a video, which really, we really want to point out the pain from their snapshot report and give them an opportunity to talk to us to fix their pain. So what you do when you're filling out the report or filling out when you're creating the account, you obviously first, last name, and email address, phone number. We've got business name, And it's important to hear that to do kind of a quick audit and make sure we've got the right information, because Google, again, is going to take the most common data. And if that most common data isn't correct, it's going to fill out in here. So you want to correct it. So let's say they're also an Audi dealer. So we want Norden Audi, right? So that's sometimes what they're called, right? And then maybe they carry Ferraris as well. So those are some of the common business names. So now it's going to search the internet not only for Norden Volkswagen, but also for Norden Audi and Norden Ferrari. The street address, everything is correct. You know, maybe they have a toll-free number I want to add in there, you know. And then I can also make sure that the business categories are correct as well. So we've got car dealers, and auto repair. These categories all come from Google, and as you can see, there's a business vertical information button there, which will help you with identify if you get stuck and it's like, what is this again? These are little tips that can help you along. We want to include as much information as possible in here, any landmarks, any special services offered, brands carried. If, for example, we can put in Volkswagen, right? And then we can add in Audi and Ferrari, right? This is really great, especially for appliance stores, you know, that are carrying Samsung and GE and Maytag, and great for co-op, etc. Then we want to identify some of their competitors and include that information in here. And then common words, the products, services that they're using that people might be finding their competitors in. This is the share of voice. Make sure that they've got social media showing up in here. And then if they're missing any, it's always a good idea to add it in. And then once you're done, you just hit create. I'm not going to do that right now, but I just wanted to give you an idea of how to go through this. It's very simple. You just fill in the blanks and hit create. So let's go back to managing accounts. Once the snapshot report goes out, of course, you'll be notified when the email is sent. You'll be notified when they open it or if they take any action on it. So we can see here that North Italia has three hamburgers. Must be getting close to lunch. They have 3 flames.
Hey, Jamie.
Yes.
Jamie.
Yes.
That was the first test account. If you want to show real life, that's me creating the flames because it's my email.
Sure.
If you want to show a live one, go to Scottsdale Dentist or Scottsdale Car Company. Those are legit real ones.
All right, you got it.
My Scottsdale Dentist or Scottsdale Car Company.
Okay, well, let's jump in and take a look. So my Scottsdale Dentist, let's see what's going on. I see Michael's assigned as the rep on this account, which is great. And he is looking at UpSnap mobile ads. So Stephen Poulos is obviously the contact at my Scottsdale Dentist, and he opened up email listings yesterday morning at 8 o'clock. He was delivered that the night before, and you can see he was not delivered, so it might have bounced. So you can view the history here, and you can scroll in here, and you can see how Michael's gone in, changed, created an opportunity, and opened up the account information. So we've got lots of activity opening up the snapshot, going all the way back to January 10th. So this is really making this client is ready to sell. So we're going to go back to the Scottsdale Dentist here. And you can see as well in the sales activity, we've created an opportunity here. This is an area where I spend a lot of time where, you know, if I've made an outbound call and I've talked to the client, I'll click that and I'll say, okay, I did an outbound call and I spoke to the customer and, you know, whatever it is, and we were discussing the UpSnap mobile ads advanced. And so it's going to show up in 2 places, both in the sales activity, but also in the opportunity. I'm going to cancel that and show you where that opportunity is. So if you open up these opportunities, you can see the opportunity page itself. So you can see all the activity on this opportunity. This is super handy because you're going to run into situations where you're going to have multiple opportunities. You might be talking to multiple people at a customer, and this is a great place to keep that information all organized. And when you create the opportunity, you assign, you know, it's automatically going to populate how much revenue based on the product itself. And then you figure out what the probability of a close is based on where you're at in the sales cycle. Now going back, what we want to look at as well is the current active products. So you can see here he's got Listing Builder, and so I can click on Listing Builder and it's going to take me directly to that tool. So you'll be able to see how it's populated. There's a quick overview. We have videos for many different things. So if you have questions about something, you go somewhere and you're kind of scratching your head, go, how does this work again? You know, I know Jamie talked about it last week, but you know, a lot has happened. You can simply watch the video. They're really super great. They're informative. We've got videos on how monitoring listing distribution, managing listing sync, various different areas. So this customer, we haven't connected their Google My Business account yet. If once that information is there, the data is going to populate. You can see in listing distribution, this is going to show you how that listing distribution is being distributed across the web. It's going to show you the listing accuracy as well as the syncing status. So info group, it's clean. Axiom, there's still a couple things. Factual, nothing right now. New Star, there's a couple things that are going to need some repairs. Now, this is something that you're going to get into conversations with down the road, and people are going to ask, so why is this not working right away? It takes some time. There's hundreds and hundreds of different places that they're pulling data from, and they're pushing the data out, and sometimes an update takes a week, or maybe it's only once a month. So it can take, you know, sometimes 3 or 4 months before you get the correct data up there. And then we're constantly pushing the data out to make sure that it continues to work. You can also dial into again, the listing synchronizing, which is we want to make sure we connect their My Business Facebook and Twitter accounts. And then you can see some of the others that are not activated yet. If they buy this product, we'll be able to go after all of these listings and make sure that we've got the right data on it. So I'm going to go back to Sales and Success Center. So this gives you a deep dive into those products. And we'll go back to my Scottsdale dentist again. And now let's take a look at reputation management. Now this is a demo account, and it's going to show you, again, information. There's cues. Do you need to submit new information, add any more information that might be missing? I usually just click on Remind Me Later, and then I'll come back to it next time. So this is going to show you the listing score based on the listings that were found. Again, this reputation management tool is what drives the data for the snapshot report. So with this, we're looking at listings, review, mentions, social, competition, and the reports. So again, this is a tool that you can look at. It's going to show you, here's more information on how your listing currently appears in data providers, the various different search engines, and all the possible matches, where it's right, where it's not. You can see they're pretty good. The 397 isn't bad. The industry average is 442. You can also see how you're competing at a state level or a city level. You can adjust these reports. You know, this is a place you may want to spend some time, take a look around, watch some of the videos, and check, you know, it'll help you to kind of get, I know for me personally, I need to get my hands on something to learn more about it. So in this case with reputation management, definitely spend some time in here taking a look at some sample accounts or even real accounts, and you can get a good idea. As you can see, we're scraping the internet. We're finding Facebook reviews from 2 weeks ago, 2 months ago, 3 weeks ago, 2 months ago, and you can see there's action required. So they've given you a review, but there's no response. So there's a queue in here, and you know, tips again and tools on how to respond to positive reviews. You know, 72% of consumers say they trust online reviews. When drafting a review response, we recommend personalizing it and so on. So your customer can do this on their own if they have time, or we have tools and we have managed services where we can do that for them. Mentions is an area that we also look for, you know, any mentions outside of social media or away from other areas that your customer's name might show up. So maybe it shows up in a blog, or it shows up, you know, somebody takes a picture of their building and posts it on Instagram. You know, there's various different areas. Nothing's been connected yet on this case, but that's something that we can dig in deeper, especially when we're working with managed services. We can fill that data out, which makes them easier to find. With social, we're going to monitor the social activity. We have the Facebook account connected. LinkedIn, Twitter, any employee Twitter accounts are not connected. You can always add those later, as you can see. My Scottsdale dentist, he's pretty active on social. So there's some good information there. There's tools on setting up social accounts in here. You know, you can simply go in here and you can connect them once you have that information. All right, so as you can see, it's very in-depth. There's a lot of information there. One of the cool things that we offer as well inside the Sales and Success Center is training resources. And so this is where you can go in and you can pick those products and you can take a look. So I can take a look at reputation management. I can look at various different other, any other products that we're talking to this customer about, and I can get a deeper dive into it. So let's find reputation management. There it is. So if I want to learn more about it, it's going to open up a product page. Now in here, I'm going to have PDFs, FAQs. In some cases, there's videos. There might be some unbranded, brochures that we can take out and share with the customer. So this really is a great tool if you have any questions about a product that you're really digging into. What is reputation management? Why does it work? We've got screenshots, and then there's some add-ons that you can add to it if you're putting together a package for your customer. So we'll go back here again one last time, and I wanted to show you as well how we can take a look at their snapshot report. You just click on that icon and it's going to show you the snapshot report. Now this is a admin view. So this isn't what your customer is seeing. This is going to have some other things in it. So you have some choices here if you want to configure the snapshot report. We have created new videos which are going to be above every category. So you can watch a video on listings, for example. I can show you the video here, which is showing that they have a bad score for listings. We have 5 videos for each category. You can pick your voiceover, the North American voiceover, which is a current one, or if you're in Australia, we have an Australian voiceover, or the default, which is a legacy North American voiceover. And then you can email the report directly from this page. So if you're working with them, you can see all of the various different things that you want to share with them. So in this case, we have a C for listings, B for reviews, C for social, C for website. So you can go through and you can see where those weaknesses are beforehand. You can see we're missing a couple of social sites. We've got some incorrect information on Dex Knows, Central Index US. You can see that Factual is not finding this business. On the review side, they're doing great. We might want to see if we can help them increase their review score. On social, they're doing really well. They've got lots of likes and posts on Facebook. They don't have a Twitter profile, or that it's not connected. Might be worth looking into. And then on the website, you can see as well, we have a video based on the score. On mobile, the speed is slow. We've got some issues there. However, it is a mobile-friendly website. And so there are recommendations included with this on all the various different things that can be done to improve the score, or just to improve the overall experience for that customer. On the desktop side, again, speed is still an issue. And like I mentioned earlier in this session, it's critical that a website is quick to load. It's 75% of people are going to bail out after 2 seconds. So you want to optimize those images, because that's probably where it happens and how you can do that. The homepage content, the size is part of the problem right here. It's got a massive homepage. The industry average is 726. Theirs is 5,600 kilobytes. Again, no Twitter. Perhaps they don't have a Twitter account. You may recommend they set one up. It's a great tool for businesses, especially in the United States. On the advertising side, do consumers know about your business? We've picked, the top 5 search terms for this business in Arizona, and you can see dentist, dentist near me, teeth whitening, emergency dentist, and tooth extraction. So there's 32,000 possible impressions available from a Google AdWords perspective, and 650 possible clicks, which is just some great, there's some great power there. It's a competitive space, but the cost per click isn't too bad. You can see in there as well. Search engine marketing, looking a little light. So if there's information in here that's missing or you don't want to talk about with your customer, what you can do is you can simply just check this box, and it's going to remove search engine marketing, for example, and we're going to remove advertising in this case. And then you want to take a look at what the report looks like. You go back to the top and you view the report. So this is the side that your customer is going to see. Now, as you can see, we're just measuring listings, reviews, social, website. We've taken the advertising component out. And so you can completely customize this to fit. If you want the videos, you want to change the voices on the videos, or you don't want the videos, you can change all of those as well. So it's a super tool. It's an award-winning tool that really gets good results for your customers. So just going to move this. And now we can go back, and you can see here back in this area, we can see that we have them on a campaign has been sent, as you can see, because it's green. This one doesn't have one. For example, I know this is just a test account. So these three icons here are the snapshot report. And as you can see, if you hover, you can see when the snapshot report expired. You can refresh the snapshot report after 7 days. If you wish, it's not going to make a really big difference unless your client has done something dramatic on social, or they've done something dramatic with their listings, or they've launched a new website in the last month, those sort of things, then it might make sense. Generally, we recommend you wait. A snapshot can sit for up to anywhere from 1 to 3 months before you need to refresh it. Now, inside the CRM as well, you can also see your pipeline, which is going to show you, where all of your opportunities lie. So as you can see, we have one opportunity for my Scottsdale dentist for UpSnap mobile ads advanced. I can dig into this. I can search through the pipeline. I can sort by probability, date it's created, expected close dates. I can turn on and off salespeople. I can pick all opportunities or just the ones that are open. There's a variety of different ways to do that. So you just click on this little triangle icon here, which helps you to see, I just want open opportunities, and maybe I just want to search by a specific product. So I can see just the pitches that I have out for UpSnaps in this case. I can also pick created dates, expected close dates, and I can pick only those with a higher probability or only those with a lower probability if I'm looking at cleaning out my pipeline. You can also save those filters by clicking on this blue icon here. So if I make a bunch of, let's say I only want 75% and up to 100%, and I only want the snapshot or the UpSnap mobile ads builder, I can save that. I can save that filter here, and I can also manage those various different filters. Now, if I click here, I can check which columns I want to show, if I want to turn columns on and off. So it's very flexible on all the various different things that you could do. I know for myself, I'm in my pipeline management fairly regularly, looking at probabilities of close, especially for projecting. I might look at what have I got coming up, in Q1, and so I might do a search and set up a search for everything that's expected to close that's at 50% or higher in the next 3 months. Now, the loop is also going to show you activity inside your with all of your clients. This is current data. This is like a social media feed, and it's going to show every time you take an action, it's going to show up in here. So if you wanted to say, okay, what did I do earlier this week? it's going to show all of your accounts and all of your activity, not just this one in this case. As you can see, we've got my Scottsdale dentist. You can see that Michael connected with Steve at Scottsdale Car Company. I created an opportunity. And so you can see I made an outbound call. So the more data that you've got in here, it's a great tool for seeing, okay, what have I been up to? Who was I talking to 2 days ago, without having to drill right into that specific account. Now we have training resources, again, as I mentioned, on all of the products and all of the information. One other place is if you wanted a quick drop down, so I wanted to take a look at the products, I can see here that we have 2 active products for my Scottsdale dentist. So you can do a lot of things right from the home page of the Sales and Success Center. So that is the system in a nutshell. This is a quick overview. I know we've kind of bounced around a fair bit. That being said, this session has been recorded, so all of this information is available to you. And as I mentioned, please feel free to sign in and start playing around with it. There is a cost for every snapshot report you issue, so I wouldn't recommend just doing willy-nilly snapshot reports. Make sure that it's a solid prospect, because it's going to do a lot of work on your behalf and save you a lot of time. So I see there's a couple of questions. I've got a question here from Jonah about his account that's still in trial mode. We'll get that fixed for you, Jonah. Any other questions at this point?
Yeah, Jamie, under the manage the pipeline, is there a way to sort maybe by industry and maybe by city or state?
I don't think we're at that point yet. If I take another look here. What you can do is what I'll sometimes do, and I've requested this, is I'll put tags in it.
Okay.
So I might put the city tag in there, as well as I could put there is business categories. So you can organize by category, as well as, if they're on campaign or not, if they've received a snapshot, and again, as I showed you, you can sort by active products.
Good, great.
So yeah, I would put the city name, or if it's a business, business vertical is already there, but if you had a specific way you want to organize your accounts, use those account tags.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. All right. We have an update coming very soon for setting appointments in the CRM. So next stage, like what's going to happen next. I've made a presentation, and now I know I have to follow up in a week. What I'm doing currently, the workaround is I literally have that in my Google Calendar, and so I know that I've got, and I book a time for that next stage. Now with this, this is a question from Trenton. What we'll do is I've already talked to the developers, and they're pushing out an update, which is going to be a task manager that will help us to, sort as well by where we're at in the sales process. So are we at prospect? Are we at presentation? Are we at the first, second, third, fourth, fifth stage of the sales cycle? And once those come out, those will be pushed out automatically, and we'll do a training session on that when those new updates come. I know we're working very, very closely with the developers, and it's on their roadmap for this quarter. So it'll happen within the next 6-8 weeks. All right. Well, we're at 50 minutes, which is generally where I like to end. So if there aren't anything else, I'll thank you all again for doing this one more time this week. I know it's been recorded this time, so it's available. Will be available to you shortly, and Michael will make that available to you all. So thanks again, everybody. Have a super day, and look forward to talking to you again next week.
Thanks.